Hi guys, Alice Taylor down at Living Golf Academy, and today we're going to talk through what is in my bag in the lead up to the Open Championship. Right then guys, if you're new down to my channel, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you enjoyed today's video and you don't currently subscribe to my channel, please consider clicking the subscribe button during the video. Ring the notification bell as well, make sure you get my content as soon as it lands. But for now, let's get on with which clubs are in my bag, why they're in my bag, and maybe this will help with a bit of an insight into my game as to what possibly should be in your bag going forward. So guys, we're going to start off with driver. Everybody loves driver. So the Titleist TS3 is currently in my bag. It's a lovely classic looking driver from the top. I've got it at 9.5 degrees with the B1 setting in the hosel position. So that's just keeping the loft as is, but maybe a little bit more fade bias. And I've got the hazardous smoke 6.5. Now the idea of this driver for me is it's lovely and low spin. I get some really good launch conditions. I'm certainly working on my swing and trying to get a bit more speed, and I know this shaft's going to kind of help as I do swing a bit quicker, but I get some really good launch conditions from this driver. There's a reasonable amount of forgiveness as well. You know, there's different models out there that potentially I might get a little bit more out of with the very best one, but it's about that consistency, and I love the fact that my spin, even on my slight miss hit, is round about where I would want it to be, so it gives me good distance and decent control from the driver. Right, so moving down from driver, that moves me into fairway wood and 3-wood. So I've currently got in the bag the Ping G410. Now, anyone that's watched my review on this, I personally think this is the best fairway wood I've ever had. It's 14.5 degree, but I've taken a loft off down to 13.5. We've got the Tor shaft, 75 grams, stiff flex. And again, this is a great club for me because it works really well off the tee, but most importantly, off the floor, I can really get this out there. I mean, a really good one. I can carry it past 250 and get it rolling out. Now, having said that, there's not too many holes where I probably do need that, but I do like the fact that I can tee it down almost like it's on the floor and really get some great control off the tee if I feel I'm a little erratic with driver. Most guys are probably going to have a bit more loft, but certainly with this particular model, I've been able to take loft off and still maintain those great launch conditions. And I think certainly for me, obviously there's an LST version. I quite like the slightly bigger head, a little bit more forgiveness, just helps me get away with those shots where I don't quite put my best swing on it. So moving from fairway wood, we move into the irons. Now, from 3 down to pitching wedge, I've currently got the Ping i500s. So decent head size, maybe a little bit bigger than I would visually like, but very, very forgiving. And the 3-iron, I've actually got the Tor spec loft. I've got that actually bent down to more like a 2-iron. Now, it's great for me because I play a lot of links golf. Part of my base is St Anne's Old Links, and certainly that ability to hit that slightly lower shot off the tee, a bit more of a stinger, chasey one, keep it under the wind, really, really helps. And I think having something really forgiving like this can help. I do also have the new Ping crossover. Again, 3 bent down towards 2. Just gives me a slightly higher ball flight. I think if I played somewhere where it was a bit softer, I'd take my 3-iron out and put the crossover in. But for now, the 3-iron works great. So, decent looking club head, very forgiving. And the shaft in all of them is the Project X LZ6. So moving into my wedges, I carry 52, 56 and 60. Now probably as a better gapping between my pitching wedge and my 56, probably 50 degree might actually be a better gap, but I'm really comfortable with the distance that I hit 52 and I feel I can play lots of shots with it. But my current 52 doesn't match my 56 and 60. I do have the matching one, I'm just not quite as comfortable with it at the moment. So I've currently got my old Nike Engage 52 degree. Love the way it sits behind the ball. Really know my numbers with this wedge, and particularly hitting kind of full shots and 3/4 shots. You know, I feel I'm a bit more consistent in hitting my numbers with this than I am with the one that would match my 56 and 60. I don't necessarily think this will stay in the bag too much longer, but currently, bit of an oldie, bit of a classic in the bag with the 52 degree. So my 56 and 60 are the Ping forged glide wedges. Now, I love the fact that Ping have done some forged wedges. I like that little bit of softness. These have got just a really good amount of bounce for me as well. Certainly the sand down at Old Links isn't usually too fluffy, so I don't really like lots of bounce in the bunkers. But I have made the mistake in the past of not going for too much bounce. That's fine on full shots because I am quite shallow the way I deliver the golf club, but when I pitch, I do get a little bit steeper. So for me, that's where having something with just a little bit more bounce, that back edge being a little lower than the front edge, just helps me get away with the strike that's not quite as good, but certainly really dialed in with my numbers with 56 and 60. Great looking, great feeling. They've been a great addition to the bag. Like I said, just try to get more comfortable with the 52, and then the Nike will probably move out and the Ping move in. So moving on to putter. Now this is a brand new addition for me. I've gone for the Phantom X Scotty Cameron 8.5. Very fortunate to run through a fitting with Nick Sharples, who is the Scotty Cameron fitting rep. And what I loved with this putter is it's got that very slight toe hang for me, which is fine. A little less toe hang than I have used in the past. And it's certainly helping me set the ball off much, much closer. When you look at the bottom of the putter, there's plenty of tech in there with the little weights either side. That's going to give a bit more forgiveness on the off-centre strike. And certainly a very, very visually attractive black and that fluorescent yellowy green on top. I love once I've got a line on the ball how that helps me line up. And certainly my numbers on TrackMan, my ability to set the ball off on line with this putter was scary good. Now, I'm generally a pretty good green reader, and normally my pace is quite good. So what, if anything, lets me down with my old putter is I probably just set the ball off a little bit left. In fact, I know I do, having measured it. I don't use a line on the ball, and I think that creates a bit of an issue that I become a bit inconsistent with where I aim. So with the new alignment on the Scotty Cameron, I feel that I can use a line on the ball, and because I can set the ball off closer to where I'm aiming, guaranteed to make more putts. So golf ball, final piece of kit. I am playing the Titleist Pro V1X golf ball. For me, performs very, very similar with driver and irons to kind of a lot of the balls on the market, but certainly once I get into my partial swings with my wedges, I just generate some really, really high spin numbers. That gives me the ability to stop the ball fairly close to where I pitch it, and then because I learn my carry distances on TrackMan, makes me able to access flags a little bit more, particularly tight flags, land the ball near the flag and stop it. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, comment below, like and share it. I'll get back to as many comments as I can. Let me know what clubs are in your bag and why. Is it just out of habit they're in your bag? Have you been for a proper fitting? Do you maybe change clubs depending on what course you play on? So I think I would vary a little bit course to course, but I'd be really interested to hear what you guys have got in your bags. So if you have enjoyed the video and you don't subscribe, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here in the future. Stay in contact.